Can you able to see the questions? Please take some screenshot or photography, and please try these three questions. If you are done with the first two, I'll move on to the third one. Are the first three questions done? Can anyone unmute and tell if you are done? I'll move on to the next question. This is the continuation of the third question. The output should be in this format. Please make a screenshot of it. And fourth question. Try these four questions. Did you take the screenshots or may I show those questions again? I'll share you the link in the chat box. This is the link. You can access those questions from that link. And the questions are from HTML exercise 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You might face some difficulty in the second question because it's not so difficult. If you can go through the web, you will find the answer, but try it on yourself. Don't browse it on the net. Try it on yourself. If you did not get the answer, contact me. I'll tell you. So observe carefully that you should have spacing in between these two cells, and the color should be alternative for each of the cell. And this is a nested list. So please read the questions carefully, and your output should look like this. Try with these examples, and if any one of you finish any of these examples before the session ends, please tell it before the session ends. And if you have any kind of doubts regarding these four questions, please post them in the chat box. And by the way, please ask your friends to join the session as soon as possible. So I can't wait more than 15 minutes. So I'll start the session within 3 more minutes. Please ask your friends to join. The coloring and the boldness of this table should be same as this table. So think about it and make make the output looks the same. These are the four questions I have given you. Please take this as an assignment and work on this. I think I have covered tables, links, lists, but it did not teach you how to nest the list. But try this. They have given you 3 steps. Using those three steps, try constructing this nested list, and it's not that difficult. If you can try that, you will be able to get this output. If not, I'll tell you how you can get that. Are you people trying these exercises? Are you people trying? I have given hint for your second question. I think I did not discuss about the anchor tag attributes, but those are not difficult. So you can go through those ones like self. Self is used to display the content in the same page when it was clicked, and blank is generally used to open the document in the new window or new tab. So try using those two attributes inside the anchor track, and let me know whether you get the output or not. um, shall I start with today's session, or will your friends join the session, or may I wait for a few more minutes? It is not compulsory that you must use these colors only. You can use any of the color you like. Okay, did any one of you finish any of these three, any of these four? Please respond. Did you people are working on it, or what you are doing? Shall I start with today's session, or do you need some more time to do this exercise? Please respond. Okay. Today's topic is frameworks. No, no, no. What's our today's topic? What's our topic for today? Yes, forms. Let's begin with our forms. I divided this forms into two sessions because I'd like to make this more interactive. If you people join through your laptops, you can work along with me. So let's learn more about forms as it's most commonly used feature in any of the websites. So let's get started with our forms. I think you people might know what form is. Can anyone of you unmute yourself and tell what form does and what is form all about?
By using form tags, you can create a page just like a registration page, login page, etc.
Good. Have you ever done this before? I asked, do you do any of this kind of forms in your previous semesters?
Yes, I did like forms like registration page, login page, feedback page, etc.
Okay, done. That's it. Form is simply nothing but it contains all the details of a user. Like we can include the inputs like name, email address, phone number, address, and pin code, or the gender of the male or female, or like the languages known, or we can even include the date of birth, or we can include the range of the marks or the percentage of the marks. And it also contains some checkbox type of inputs, some buttons, some selecting items. Forms contains a lot more elements, and each element has its own attributes. Let's learn about them in detail as possible. So let me show you the syntax of the form. The form contains the form tag, and it ends with an ending closing tag. Closing form tag and opening form tag is an example of is an example of. Can anyone of you tell what it is an example for? Whether it is a nested element, or complete element, or empty element, what kind of element it is? I have discussed about two types of elements, like nested elements, just a simple element, and like the element which has only the opening tag called empty tag. What kind of element is form tag? Please answer. It's just a simple element, and it is not a nested element, and it is not an empty element. Since it has both opening tag and closing tag, it's not an empty element. And form has three main attributes like name, action, method. Here name is nothing but we are giving some name, like we are identified with our name. Just like that, a form must be identified with its name. So we can include the name of the form. It's a good practice to have some name to your form. And action, like we are linking our form to the backend server, or we can even link that form to some other page. All this linking can be done using this action attribute. And method, this method contains two types of methods like get, post. Have you heard about these terms before? Get and post are the two kinds of http request methods. um, those indicates the action of the form. We'll discuss about those in our coming topics. So let me teach you some elements of the form. These are some few common elements, and these are the most commonly used element tags in a form tag. Like we have input element. This input element itself contains different types of attributes, and we'll discuss about this in today's session in a detailed manner. And this input type can be, as I said, it can be displayed in several ways depending on the type attribute. Please remember that type is an attribute of input. So this is the most commonly used element in the form element. So coming to next one, label. um, Generally we see some sign up forms, sign in forms, or registration forms have some fields which are static. That means they won't move, and they are used to give some labeling. So so that the user can identify what type of input they should give for that label. So Label can be used to give some identification or focus of the input element. And select. Um, you can see some forms have some drop down kind of options, like if you apply for any of your events, like event registrations which are outside the country, they'll definitely ask for your name of the country, then comes your state and city and the place. uh, in that application you might observe some list of countries which can be seen in a drop down list format, so that can be done using select element. And there are few forms where people can be able to type the text, and that text box can be maximized minimized accordingly, so that is called text area. And button, the name itself suggests it is used to submit. Like, not only submit, the button contains two types. Like, we can even reset the options, we can submit the options. To do those things, we use button tag. And then field set. Field set is not most commonly used, but it's something you people might not know, as it is not commonly used. So field set is nothing but just like a form contains different different fields that belongs to a particular group, and you can club those fields into one group, and you can even give legend to it. We'll discuss about this with an example, then you'll get to know more about it. So don't worry about that. Then we have data list. Data list and select might look similar, but the only difference is that using data list, you can search the elements in the drop down list by giving some input in the text field. That is not possible with select. And then we have output tag. This is nothing but something that is similar to script, like scripting. When we give some input, it will give some output. Such cases, you can use output tag. This is also not commonly used. So then option. This is the main thing that you should know if you like to use this select and data list tags. So these are the few common elements that we use in our form element. I think I'm clear with this. If you have any kind of doubts, can unmute yourself and ask me. If you don't have any doubts, let's execute each of this element and see how they work. I think you people don't have any doubts. Let's execute each of this element. Let me create some basic sign up form, or some form that contains a username and password, just like that. Let's try something similar to that. So let's begin with HTML tag. You people can work on it simultaneously. If you don't write these four tags, even then you can create your form, but it's a good practice to have this head HTML tag and a body tag. Can you able to see my screen, or do I need to maximize the font? Or I think this would be clear to everyone. Let me give some heading. Let me give H1. Let's make it sign up form. Let's close this and let's begin with our form tag. I'm not going to include any of the attributes for now. Let's learn one by one. So now let's see how an input tag works and label tag works. So let me begin with a label, and label is also a tag that contains both opening and closing tags. It's an element that contains both opening and closing tags. So whatever the thing that you want to display to your user, you can type here in between the opening and closing tags of the label. So then type your input. Let me give input type equals to some text. I'd like to give some text, so I included the type as text. Let's discuss about various types in that are included in our input type. But for now, let's try something like this. So now input type equals to text. So there is no need of closing this input type. Let me give another label and another input type. So let me use it as a password. So let me save this. I think you are clear with these things. This is something that is very basic in forms. So let's see how the output looks. Can you see? You can give text or here. Can you able to see this? This is how you can create your sign up form. So it takes the text. It just takes text. So if you like to send this password to a next line, what should you use? You're supposed to use some BR tag and just refresh this page. So uh, it looks something awkward. So let's add one more BR tag or here. It will create more spacing in between these two. So see, and one more thing, that these two are not in the same line. So let's add some spacing in between this. So you people already learned about entity types. So I'm using NBSP here to add some spacing in between these two. I think it's okay now. So next, I'd like to add some button over here. Simply give button and type submit and end the button tag and save this. Let's see how it looks. See, as we did not use any of the break tags, it appeared in the same line of of the a row that contains the password. So let me add break next to the input field and let me refresh this. Can you able to see the difference? Um, Whatever the text that you appears or here will be reflected here. Can you able to see the difference? This is how a label input type and a button tags works. So label also contains few attributes like fur. Let me execute it first and I'll explain you what fur is. Fur, let me give a uname. Here id equals to uname. Actually, fur is used uh, to connect with the input type. So this id and this fur are combined. You must use the same name that you have given to your id to the fur. Let's save this and see the difference. So please observe it carefully. I did not add any fur attributes for the password, and I have included fur attribute to the username. So I have saved this page. So let me refresh this. So look at this carefully. When I click on this username, your text box will be darkened or will be alert. But this is not the case with password. Can you able to identify the difference? If you touch this or if you click on this username, you would be able to see some identification or notification in your text field. But this is if you don't use the far and id attributes. Hope this is clear. Any doubts so far? If no doubts, let me move on to the next elements. um yeah, next let's try text area. As I said, i'll I'd like to include everything in this single form. So let's give some labeling as address. Address, and I'm going to close this. So what would be the input type for this? It's not the input type, it would be text area. Let's save this and check the output. Can you able to see? This is the text area. You can maximize it. You can zoom in, zoom out, and type as much as you want. This is the benefit of a text box. So let me add some break tag to move the click me button to the next of the address. So by default, it appeared in some length, but you can maximize it and you can type as much as text you want. And you also have attributes for text area as well, like rows. A row equals to some 10, calls equals to 10. I'm not sure with the terms that there are rows or row. Let's check. See it. Let's type something and check how many rows it will display and how many columns it will display. So by default it appeared with 10 rows and 10 columns. Can you observe the difference? So this is how we can include the default number of rows and default number of columns for a text area. Hope this is clear. And you can even maximize this. You can even enter as many rows as you want or as many columns as you want. But by default, you can make that to 10. So this is what the attributes of a text area shows to you. And next, what's our next tag? And let's execute the select element. I already said you that in order to use select, you must use option element as well. So let's type select. Select also contains open tag and close tag. So in between the opening and closing the tags of select, you'll have option tag. Option Um, Let me give the name of the countries. Name of your country. Let me give some other option like India, America, Australia. You can give as many as options you want. Let me give this and let me check how this works. Since I have given after our button tag, it appeared after the button tag. Let me move this to up of the button tag. So, hmm, are you people doing along with me or not? Are there anyone who is doing that? Okay, we can even add label to our select area. Let's add some labeling to it, like country. Let's check. Yeah, country appeared. You can select this. You by default, the top of the option will appear in your select section. If you remove this and if you make that empty, refresh this and check. If nothing is given, it will look empty. This is one of the examples for select tag, and you can even have something like size of your select tag. Like the attribute of select tag includes size. Give size as 2. By default, you will be able to see two options. Let me show you. See, you would be able to see two options, that is name of the country and India. If you give a size as 3, you will be able to see three options. You can select any one of those. So this is how select tag works, and you can even select multiple options. So in order to select multiple options, give multiple here. From this, you can select this. What's wrong with this? Did I did anything wrong? I'm unable to select this. Let me select a single thing. Yeah, it's working for a single element, and it's not working for multiple. Let me check it once and I'll let you know. So let me try this again. Let me give size equals to 4, and let me give multiple as another attribute of select. It's not working here. Maybe the browser is not supporting this. You people try this and let me know whether it worked for you or not. So it's not working for me. So let's check it later. And this is how a select tag works. Hope you are clear with select tag except the attributes. If you have any doubts till now, if you have any doubts till now, you can ask me. If you are clear with this, I'll move to the next element. So we are left with field set, legend, and data list. These are the four elements we are left with. If you are clear with this, I'll move on to the next one. I think you people did not have any doubts. If we want to enter a number as a password, how can we get it? Yeah, I'll tell you, Saistri, how that can be done. It can be done using input type. I have told you that input has a lot more types included in that. Like we have input type as email, password, file, and number, range. There are a lot more things, so we'll learn about those things in tomorrow's session. If time permits, we'll look into some of the input types in today's session. So if you people are clear with these things, I'll tell you the remaining. Like I would like to show you these four elements also. So let me create a data list. I said that select and data list works similar to each other. So let me use this same thing, but I'll change it to data list. So mm, name of the state. Let me give it a name of the state. Andhra, Kerala, T and for Tamil Nadu. Let's say this and let's refresh this page. Yeah, I have included it, but what's wrong? I did not able to get the output. Mhm. Okay, let me add some labeling to identify whether it is appeared on the screen or not. As you can see that a little spacing appeared over here. So maybe it appeared, but let's check. Yeah, but the data list did not appear over here. Let me check it. Did I do anything wrong? Oof. Uh, do any one of you doing this? I'm unable to get the output for the data list as well. So if you are able to do the data list one, please let me know. I'm unable to do that. Data list is not working for me. Please let me know if you are able to do that. So I'd like to discuss this in tomorrow's session as it is not working for now. So let's check whether field set and legend elements will work. And these are Sorry for the disturbance. So actually this data list is not working for me. Maybe the browser is not supporting that. I'll check it uh, whether it works or not. So you people also try that. This is the syntax of the data list. So try this and let me know whether it works or not. Let's check the field set and legend elements as well. Let's check whether those works or not. I think and I hope those will works. So as I said, that field set is used to group some similar set of fields. Like, let's make this comment as it is not working for now. So, let me create some field over here. No. Um, let's create field a field here. Field set. And inside the field set, you'll have legend tag, and I'm going to include these three things. Like I'd like to include these three inside our field set. So I'd like to give this inside this. Uh, do you people know what a legend means? If you are familiar with pie charts or bar graphs, you might observe some kind of a report or some labeling that this color indicates this and this color indicates this. That's what a legend in bar graph and pie charts represents. Similarly, like that, this field set must have a legend. So let's give it as some personal info. Let's check whether it works or not. Can you able to see? Can you able to see how a field set works? The three fields are combined and they are given some name. That is like they are given name as personal info. This is the legend that is given to our fields. This uh, this this three are combined to a single set of fields, and they are given a name called personal info. You can give what are name you like. This will help you while creating something like portfolios or resume type of websites, so that you can have something like this kind of legends, rather putting heading tags, rather using heading tags for putting this subheadings. You can use legend that looks something unique in your web page. So hope field set and legend are clear to you. I did not cover data list and output elements now. I think it's nearly 8. So if you people have any doubts, you can ask me. If there are no doubts, we'll continue this forms in tomorrow's session. I'll show you what we are going to discuss in tomorrow's session. As one of your friend asks, how can we make the input as a password or a radio type or checkbox or image? These are different types of elements. These are few different types of input elements. Like I said that input contains an attribute type, and that type attribute can have any of these types, like the type equals to text or password or checkbox or radio button, submit or reset, image, file, hidden email number. These are the few things that an input element contains. So let's discuss about these types of elements in tomorrow's session, and let's work on this. If you people are interested in doing this, please take a screenshot and work on this. And maybe you might not get this because I think you may not be familiar with this kind of things. So let's discuss about this in tomorrow's session. If you want, please take a screenshot of this and please work on this. And let's discuss all this in tomorrow's session. Hope you guys like this session and learned something new. Do you have any doubts? And I'll I'll share the recording by the end of tomorrow, because it's not in my hand. Presida need to send me the recording, so it's the reason for the delay for sending the recording of yesterday's video. So I'll share you yesterday's video now, and today video may appear by tomorrow's evening. So good night, people. Have a great day. No, have a great night. Signing off. Bye. If you people don't have any doubts, you can leave. If you have any kind of doubts, you can ask. Okay, bye bye. Please work on the assignments given. Those will really help you. So please take it in a serious way and work on. Bye. Good night.